We just finished with the point 80s. It was really good. We have the 2-9 equitation in like 30 minutes. Okay, so I just wanted to start off this round. I'm gonna voice over it, but I just wanted to say, like, you can kind of tell in the clips, and I also didn't talk to you guys a lot, that I just wasn't 100% this weekend. And like, these rounds were honestly not that bad. I was just really mad at myself for no reason. But basically that one, I just held to nothing, but he got a nice lead change afterwards and was fine about it. I think just like this whole time I was really stressed out, and my trainer was not having a great day, so that made it harder for me too. Then we came up this line and like barely made it out because I didn't start with enough pace, because he has plenty stride to make it through the lines, you'll see in a second, but I just wasn't riding the way I needed to be riding. Then we came down to this diagonal. He jumped that really well, and it was bending really well also to this oxer, so that was nice. And then I just woed in this corner again because sometimes he likes to run by the gate. And then we came up this jump, which was really cute. And then came up this line, didn't make it all the way up, as you can see. And then down here, he missed the lead change just because I wasn't riding the way he needed to be ridden that day. So we ended up cross cantering to this jump, and he just swapped back right in front. And it was all right. And then this bending line was also really nice. And then I think that's it. Yeah, that was it. And then this was our second course, so I just came in and made a big opening circle and picked up my canter. And it was the same single going the other direction. Again, I didn't start with enough pace, so that just didn't set us up for success. So I rode up to this one, and he kind of swerved at it, and then I just rode up to nothing. And then I kind of tried to ride out, but he still missed the lead change. And so I was like, get the lead change, and so he got it, because I just didn't want to miss again to this one. This jump was nice, and then it was a rollback, and I just didn't finish the turn with my left leg, and so he kind of just died out and like swerved, and then that made that distance really crappy. But he got the lead change for me, which was really nice. And then we came down, I think, the other bending line. Yeah. He jumped in really well, and he kind of ran down this line, but it worked out fine. And then we had to come up this brown outside line, and I saw the move up, and he did not want to take the move up, so I just leaned to nothing. So that was that, and then I sat still to the ad, so I was really pissed at myself for that line, because I could have ridden it so much better. And then I didn't want him to miss another lead change, so we just made it work with that. And then we came down the single oxer, which I kind of held to a shitty distance, so. I'm watching the National Derby. I also forgot to mention that we got 6th in our first over fences and 5th in the Eck flat. Okay, so this was day 2. We decided to do the 2-6 hunters this day, because if you've been following my channel, you know that we usually do jumpers and equitation, but we kind of struggled the previous day with making it up the lines, and I wanted to iron that out. And it's not that he can't do 2-9, but 2-6 is just a little bit more easy for us, I don't know. The first jump was really nice. I was really glad that I kind of let him go to it and not just backed off like the previous day. And then coming to this long approach oxer, he attempted to swap, but he has really bad lead changes, so it wasn't really an issue. He kind of just swapped in the front. And then we came down this outside line. I found a really nice distance in and just rode out. See, he can totally make it down the strides really easy. And then he got a really good lead change. And then we had to come up this pink one. We struggled with it the previous day. You can kind of see him falling out a little bit, but we went over it. And then he fell out a little bit again to that one, but we made it up the line. And then he did not want to do the lead change there, so he gave me a little bit of sass for it, but he still got it. And then we came back down around the other outside line, and he jumped in really well, and just, I kind of had to woe down the line because it was the end of the course. Yeah. And then this was our second course. It was like pretty similar, but basically we came across the diagonal, picked up our canter, and it was the other single, just going the other direction. So I just did like the same ride as the previous course, and the distance came up really well. And then we got the lead change just a little bit late, but he still got it. And then I think we were coming up the pink line, and so you can see him fall in kind of again. And then I kind of just like was like, go, and he was like, shit. And then we didn't make it up the line in the correct amount of strides, just because I didn't start with enough again. And so then we came down this outside line. He jumped in really well and made it out in the proper strides. I even had to whoa a little bit. And then we had to come up the long approach again, and he kind of just had a green moment. Like, you can see I did nothing wrong, and he just gave up on me. And so I was like, you know what, fine, whatever. I turned my toe out, gave him a little spur, and we just circled back around again. And then he continued to do this 1 or 2 more times, and then we made it over the jump, but we were eliminated. So, you know, it happens. It's just a reminder to me that, you know, he still is green. It's his 4th show, you know, it's fine. And then this was our, like, 2/6 CPHA medal. So we came in, picked up the canter, came down this single, which was really nice. And then I just stayed tidy and inside all the way back up the other single, which I think was a little bit quiet. Yeah, it was fine. And then just cantered around, and then we were coming down the end of the judges line, which is this one. So the distance came out really nice, and we got the lead change, and then we had a rollback, which is this is the rollback we always struggle with, but it ended up going really smoothly. And then we had a halt in this back corner, which also went really well. So then we had to pick up our trot and go to a trot fence. So we picked up the canter, which I was actually not mad about, because sometimes he just doesn't want to go after we halt. So I wasn't mad about that. I just took us back down to the trot. And we came around to the trot fence at the end of the arena. And I think I kind of just woed a little bit too much, so it was a little bit funky, and he kind of didn't land with a lot of rhythm. And then I just rode up to the out of this line, which was gorgeous. It was a little bit long, but it was nice, and forward. And then we went all the way around, and then up the end of the pink line, which came out really nice. And then it was a rollback, just a really tidy rollback, all the way to the out of this line, which was a little bit long. But I was really pleased with it, and we got 6th. I just twisted my ankle and hurt a crack, so I'm gonna ice that. I am walking, but it does ache, so I think I'm gonna still ride, but my day's going really well. Okay, so I ended up being okay enough to ride. So this was my derby trip. The first jump was fine, and then we just did this like kind of rollback. It was a hunt and go derby, so this is like the hunter part. Then I just held to that one, which I was fine with. He likes to kind of pull on me down the diagonals, and then he backs off up the diagonals. So then we were coming through this corner, and then up to a single oxer, which I kind of just ran to, and there was nothing there, but it's fine. He landed the lead, and I just rode away from it like nothing ever happened. And then we came back down around this outside line, and the whole line was really smooth. And then we got our lead change, and then I was coming up the pink line, which we had struggled with the whole weekend, and I just ran out of the corner, and then I was like, go, at the long one, and he was like, shit, no. And so just pretended like it never happened and made it up the line in the correct amount of strides, because I started with enough pace this time. And so I was like, you know what, whatever, it's fine. And then we came down this outside line, which was also fine. Honestly, this whole trip was like a blur. I got out of the arena and I was like, what even like happened? So then I took this little inside turn to the trot jump, and then my trainer was like, whoa, and then I woed too much and we basically like walked it. But it was fine. He just landed unbalanced and missed the change. And then we came around to this rollback and he had the rail out and like basically trotted it. So I was really pissed at myself for falling apart. But it was alright. We still got 5th. Okay, and then this was our Taylor Harris. So I just came in, picked up, like did a circle and picked up my canter. Then we came up this diagonal. It was kind of a weird turn, but I just rode up to the quiet one, which I was fine with, because I just didn't want to lose impulsion first thing in the course. And then we came back down and around to this outside line. We ended up having this rail, which was kind of weird because it was a fine distance. The judge didn't end up counting it against us, so that was very lucky. And then that line was fine. My mom just accidentally cut it out. And then up this one was gorgeous. And then I just trusted this turn, so then the rollback turned out really smooth. Then it was to this one stride, which I just closed my left leg and it turned out gorgeous. He jumped out really well and landed the lead. And then I wanted to fix what we did the last course where I kind of ran out of the corner, and so I just kept the same pace but just kept my leg through the turn. And then that jump came up gorgeous, and the 7 was also really nice. And so that was really good. And then we came back down and around to this other kind of short approach diagonal. And he jumped it really well. And then it was bending in 7 down to this, but I rode out for the 8 because that's just what I saw. If I just closed my left leg, it would have been smoother. Luckily, it was away from the judge, and we ended up with a 74 and 5th. Okay, and then that's where the vlog ends. Sorry I was kind of shitty about vlogging this weekend. It just really wasn't my weekend, and I already like came into it not feeling great. Like it wasn't anything doing with riding. My mental game just wasn't strong. And so the days weren't that smooth, but I'm really glad that we ironed it out towards the end of the week and put in a really solid round or 2. And Thor was alright. He had some grain moments, but it's just a good reminder that, you know, he's still new to this, and so am I. I will put all the pictures at the end of this video, and thank you guys for watching. We have another show next, like this upcoming weekend, so I will vlog that, and that's the end of the show season for us.